Hey, Formula One fans, you are in Paddock headquarters. Thank you for watching the program. We talk all things Formula One here. Let's talk about some of the commentators and some of the opinions that may be out there. I want to give you my 2 cents, and then let me know what you think in the comments. So, the first one up, we got a couple weeks before we get to Las Vegas, so I'm going to cover a couple different topics throughout my videos, and this will be the first one. So Martin Brundle is a reporter for Sky Sports, and he does this thing called the grid walk. If you don't know, before the race, the pre-race festivities, he comes tumbling down the grid, and he'll usually do a quick interview, 2 questions, 3 questions, with the celebrities and the VIPs that are on the grid in the paddock area. Now, this has led to a couple of, awkward or uncomfortable encounters with some of these celebrities, either not being able to hear him or catching a bit of an attitude or being surprised because they didn't expect to be interviewed there. Now, there's 2 sides to this, right? So I don't have a problem with Martin Brundle. I like the grid walk. I like the celebrities being on the grid and in the paddock area because I think it brings notoriety and social media exposure to the sport. And I do want the fan base of Formula One to grow. So I don't have any problem with celebrities and VIPs having access to the paddock headquarters area. I think it's good. And if you are a celebrity or a VIP, you should know, and maybe Formula One VIP hospitality should give them a heads up. Look, you guys, you're VIP here. You're considered a VIP. We love to have you. You should be aware that there's cameras on the paddock area, and you may be interviewed, and give them a heads up. And the opposite is also true, right? Martin Brundle kind of runs up, and sometimes he catches them unsuspecting, and it's really quick and impromptu, and the celebrities or VIPs are not really prepared to do an interview. But he should also, if the star or the celebrity says, "Oh, thanks, I'm just here to enjoy the day," then he should back off. I don't think it's a problem. You do your standard pat answer, right? Even if you are a celebrity or a VIP. I'm glad to be here. This is very exciting. The cars and the machines are amazing. It's going to be a great day. And then if you got a second, you plug, look for my movie coming out, look for my new album dropping, etc., and you move on. It's not rocket science. But it just is funny how it's led to several of these encounters, mostly because the celebrities and VIPs they're a little unaware that Martin is down there and he's kind of running up to these people. So I think Formula One VIP hospitality, if you have somebody you consider a celebrity or a well-known person, maybe you want to give them a heads up that there are interviews done down in the paddock area. They're brief, they're short, it's loud down there. Just to give you a heads up. I do enjoy, like I said, I do enjoy the celebrities, seeing the celebrities at the races. I think it's just neat. And I have no problem with them being there. I have no problem with them being in the paddock area. So Martin Brundle, he's a former racer. He has a lot of fans himself. He's a legacy guy. A lot of the new fans may not necessarily, really know or appreciate of Martin Brundle. But I think he obviously adds, and I don't have any problem with the grid walks. That's my 2 cents with that. Next up is Danica Patrick. Now, Danica also works for Sky, and I guess, one of the things, Formula One has, 400, 500 million fans across the globe. And a lot of the time, somebody will get into something, and all of a sudden, you'll see 30 or 40, 50 tweets, and they'll act like it's this big outrage or this massive scandal. And that's not necessarily always indicative of the truth. So let me talk about Danica because I'm going to defend Danica. I think Danica, one, is one of the most successful female race car drivers in history. And she has her own opinions. And 2 instances in particular. So at one point, she had really kind of started talking about the difficulty that it's going to be for a female Formula One or a female driver to get into Formula One. And she was talking about how you really need to have a masculine, aggressive mindset. And that's not necessarily natural for most females. And it was a stereotype. Now, that's her opinion. I am, listen, I'm a girl dad. I do support F1 Academy. And I think perhaps at some point we will see a female, a phenom, come through and be able to compete with the men at this level. But the Development League and F1 Academy, make no mistake about it, this is not happening tomorrow. This is a 6 to 8, maybe to a 10-year project to get females competing legitimately, to develop those skills. Like I said, unless you have a phenom come through, or a true, incredible, rare talent that comes through that can fly up through Formula 3, Formula 2, and get into Formula 1, it's going to take a long time to develop a stable of female racers. They have to race, they have to pass that talent down, those lessons down, and ultimately I think they will get there, but that's not happening anytime soon. And if Danica gives her honest opinion about that, what's your problem? That's her opinion. And she has the right, particularly given her background and her insight, to give it. So you just either accept it, agree with it, or disagree with it. But you don't start calling for her ouster and she's not helping women racing and all of that stuff. Give me a break. Give me a break. If you can't have diverse opinions, everybody has to sing the same song, then that's not going to really add to the programming. It's not going to add to the sport. And it gives us something to discuss anyway. A second incident with Danica Patrick is the Danny Ricciardo, where she had said, at some point he's really on the back end of his career. This is also true. And I know you Danny Ricciardo fans, listen, you may not have liked to hear that. He's 34 years old. He's been in the sport, in Formula One, I think since 2011, 13, 14 years. He's certainly not in the first 5 years of his career. So he's probably in the last 3 to 5 years of his career. He actually is at the tail end of his career. Does that mean he can't win a championship or win several more races? Of course he can. But just like with Fernando Alonso and just like with Lewis Hamilton, those guys are most likely in the last 3, if they race 5 years, I'd be very surprised. The last 3 to 5 years of their career. And could they go out on a swan song and really do something amazing? Sure. Can Danny Ricciardo really do some great things with this opportunity, particularly if he gets bumped up to the Red Bull and gets out of AlphaTauri? Sure. But in this sport, you always have young, fast talent behind you. There's always a push, and anything can happen, right? Red Bull has Liam Lawson. There's a lot of young talent in Formula 2 and some of these reserve drivers that can perform. And when they get the chance, we'll see what happens. But there's always pressure on your back. So if you go too long without success, you're going to get bumped out. So I just wanted to say that. I don't have a problem with Danica Patrick. I think she adds to it as well. You have to have diverse people there with her background and her racing credentials. Let her have her opinion. It's not the end of the world. If she thinks Danny Ricciardo is at the end of his career, I guess the only way to prove her wrong would be if Danny Ricciardo raced for another 10 years. And then we would know if she was right or wrong. So I know I'm going on a little bit. Listen, we're between races. Thank you for watching. If you watched this far, I appreciate you. I just want to do one shout out because Sam Collins does the technical analysis for Formula One. And I do like Teena Gade, a female. She's a performance engineer. And every once in a while, they bring her on either with Sam Collins or she'll do a piece on her own. But I do like Teena Gade, and I wanted to give her a shout out as well. So good thing to Formula One for bringing that talent into the fold on the technical engineering side of the house. So that's my opinion on a couple of the commentators, Martin Brundle, Danica Patrick. Quick shout out to Teena Gade. Let me know what you think. I know this is a bit long of a video, but thank you for sticking with me. More things to come. We're going to be talking about Las Vegas as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.